I'm in the mood for some isometric action RPGs. Hi YouTube, just caught me taking a break. This is Papa KeeVS, and I think for this week's video, simple lang naman. I'm just gonna recommend a game that I've regularly been playing since 2000, I want to say 17. So, gumana to dun sa laptop ko. So, if ever you feel na baka hindi kayanin ng current PC nyo with yung sats, you might want to try this kasi napagana ko siya dun sa laptop ko. And another good thing about it is it's free. So if you're familiar with isometric ARPG games or action RPG games, siguro the best example is Diablo, the Diablo series, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and Diablo 3. And admittedly, I'm a fan of the series. Diablo 1, nalaro ko siya around siguro mga grade 6 onwards, though hindi ganun ka-regular. Diablo 2, high school, yun, regular ko nalaro up until siguro, actually may copy pa ako niyan doon sa laptop ko, up until, actually naka-install pa rin siya hanggang ngayon. And Diablo 3, nalaro ko siya sa PlayStation 4. Siguro I can't really comment on yung how it is sa PC kasi sa PS4 ko siya nalaro. Pero I've just comment on how it looked, how it played, tsaka yung difference niya from 1 and 2, and then kung bakit ako na entice to try this game, which is Path of Exile. Kasi ang nag-lead sa akin to find this game was Diablo 3. I think siguro maganda mag-start na muna is with the difference between Diablo 1, Diablo 2 versus Diablo 3. Kasi yun naman talaga yung lumalabas na point of comparison for people who've actually played all three games. Actually, matagal ng discussion to siguro ever since lumabas yung Diablo 3 with people who are actually fans of the first two games. Kasi looking at it, medyo malaki talaga yung difference between the first two games and Diablo 3. Firstly siguro is with the ambience or yung parang design nung game. Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 were very dark game. As in, ano siya, hindi siya dark as in madilim. It's dark with the atmosphere is very parang kasi nga it's about Diablo. So yung feeling ng there has to be a feeling of dread and darkness with the game. And ramdam mo yun with how the two games were designed, lalo na yung Diablo 1 nun. Not saying na the graphics were better or the design was better, but yung gusto nilang experience nagtra-translate dun sa games. While Diablo 3, they tried to still have that darkness, pero medyo nag-clash kasi with yung art style or yung yung design. It's more, paano ba sabihin? More cartoony siguro. Not saying which one is better, pero with the experience or the ambience that you're looking for from Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, malaking departure talaga yung Diablo 3. Kaya there are people online, may mga kita rin kasi sa mga videos sa YouTube that kind of complain about that. Siguro sa akin yung pinakamalaking difference nung dalawa is with the gameplay, especially yung character progression and character building. Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, siguro the best way to describe yung character progression and character building niya is very personalized. Kasi pag nag-level up ka sa Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 nun, you're given a set number of skill points, attribute points, / stat points. And ikaw mag-a-allocate nun dun sa mga stats or attributes na gusto mong i-upgrade, and same with yung mga skills na available. You can actually customize yung parang stats and skills ng character mo from Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 based on yung experience mo while gaming. Kunwari, you're playing a paladin na kaya mong i-absorb lahat ng damage na kaya mo. Kaso, hindi mo malabas lahat ng skills na kailangan mong ilabas. Meron ka mana deficit. So, the next time na mag-level up ka, pwede mong gawin is i-hold mo lahat yung mga stat points na hawak mo. And then, ilagay mo siya dun sa attribute that gives you more mana, which is intelligence. And kahit na wag mo muna lagyan yung vitality and dexterity stats mo kasi makunat ka na. So, yung capability to actually do that is medyo lacking sa Diablo 3. Kasi the only way you can control yung mga stat points mo is via yung mga equipment na mapupulot mo. Kasi pagka nag-level up ka sa Diablo 3, automatic na nag-upgrade yung mga stats mo depending on the level that you're on. So, medyo nawala yung parang customization part pagdating dun sa mga parang characters stats from Diablo 1 to Diablo 3. So, that's another point of parang contention with some of the Diablo fans from Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Same is true with the skills. Kasi sa skills, same with yung from Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 with the stats and attributes. Sa skill-wise, you're also given a certain number of skill points and then pwede mo siyang i-allocate the skills that you want to focus on. While Diablo 3, pagka nag-hit ka ng certain levels, certain skills unlock. Basically, it's the same thing. Pero dito, automatically nag-unlock yung mga skills na yun. So, at the end game, lahat ng skills hawak mo. So, ikaw nang bahala mag-mix and match nun. And then, in a certain skill tree, you can only equip 1, 2, 3 unless meron kang papalitan na option sa menu na pwede kang kumuha ng same skills from the same skill tree. While sa Diablo 1 and 2, you're only limited by the number of hotkeys na available sa'yo sa dami ng mga skills na gusto mong i-equip. So I think those are the two parang main differences that I experienced with Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and Diablo 3. And admittedly, nag-enjoy naman ako while playing yung mga games na yon, lalo na yung online multiplayer option niya na nakapaglaro kami ng mga pinsan ko, ng kapatid ko, and then ng mga friends ko online. Ang feeling ko kasi ang ginawa ng Blizzard is they streamlined the game to be more new player friendly. Kasi you actually have to plan ahead. Lalo na kung seryoso mo laruin yung Diablo 2. You have to plan ahead kung saan ka magmi-min-max ng experience, saan ka magmi-min-max ng stats, saan mo i-allocate, saan mo i-save lahat yung parang mga skill points na papasok sa'yo kasi you only have a parang finite number of skill points and attribute points na papasok sa'yo from your first level to your last level, which is level 99. So you'd have to be very, very careful kung saan mo nilalagay yung mga points na yon. Kasi after that, parang, saan nga ba? Parang once or twice ko lang nakita nagkaroon ng parang reset option for Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. Ay, Diablo 2 for sure. Pero Diablo 1, di ko actually maalala. Kasi nga, medyo yun, matagal ko na hindi nalalaro yun and hindi na ako makahanap ng installer for that game dun sa laptop ko. So they streamlined the game to make it more parang beginner friendly. Siguro to attract new fans to the Diablo franchise. Though yung naging problem dun is medyo na-alienate mo yung mga old school fans ng Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. I'm not saying na I'm part of that crowd, pero siguro hinanap ko rin yung the complexity of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. And then during that time, mga 2016, 17, 18, mga ganun. May nakita akong parang video sa YouTube from Riker. Riker is, I think, one of the bigger or if not one of the biggest parang Diablo YouTubers. And parang na-feature niya yung isang game na sabi niya parang it's a spiritual successor to Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. So, nung pinanood ko siya, parang, oh yeah, it kind of looks like Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. So, the design, the art is more leaning towards Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 rather than Diablo 3. And then, nung medyo tinignan ko pa mas yung mga ibang reviews, parang ibang mga videos regarding it, parang nakita ko na yung character progression and character customization is more leaning towards yung Diablo 1 to mechanics, but merong additional layer of complexity added. So yan, download ko siya and then nilaro ko siya. Siguro I'll just show you parang a run through of yung the game itself. I'll try to make a new character para mas fresh makita the difference between the two. So here's the game. This is Path of Exile. And so log in. I'm using my Epic account kasi nga free games sa Epic, which is good. So meron na akong dalawang characters nito. Actually, hindi ko maalala kasi login ko dun sa laptop, so hindi ko makuha yung mga parang nauna kong playthrough, and yung playthrough na natapos ko na yung game. So, create tayo ng bag. It's a blend of Diablo 3 and Diablo 1 and 2. Kasi, there are parang two different game modes. Standard, which is this part, and itong part na to, which is parang season. Seasons kasi is parang lumabas lang siya sa Diablo franchise, which Diablo 3, and parang every season nagkakaroon sila mga bagong updates with the characters, the classes, and siguro additional items na pwede mong ma-pick up during that time, and then after nun parang hindi mo sila makukuha. It's the same with this one. Ang current season ngayon is Ultimatum. Haven't tried it. Ito nga yung default league. And then Standard is basically it's the vanilla mode of Path of Exile. And then under that, meron kang hardcore option sa Standard and hardcore sa season. Hardcore is meron yan sa Diablo 2. I can't remember if Diablo 1 meron. It's basically when you die. Ano niya, yun yung gimmick niya dun sa mode na yun. So, mga for hardcore gamers, I haven't tried hardcore kasi I'm not confident na hindi masasayang yung oras ko playing the game and then mawawala na lang bigla kasi napatay ako. So, for this one, I'll just open up an Ultimatum game mode. Standard lang. So, ito yung mga parang basic character classes. Let's start na lang with this. Ano ba mas maganda? Ano ba hindi ko pa na-try? Sige, try natin ito. As you can see, with how it looks, the setup is very reminiscent of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. And then hotkeys for yung mga skills. So technically lumalabas na meron kang 8 na skill slots available. And then yung tawag dito, potion slots, you have 5, which is the same with Diablo 1 and 2. Pero ito, it's more of ginaya naman niya yung mga potions mismo, or yung mga potions, mana potion, HP potion. Ginaya naman niya yung setup ng Diablo 3, which is parang hindi mo kailangan mag-ipon ng madaming potions. Isa lang, and then nagre-refill siya over time. So movement is both point and click as Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. Not sure Diablo 3 on PC, pero most probably ganun siya. So this is where the difference comes in. Skills here, hindi siya built in dun sa character mo. It's based on the gems that you pick up. And then if i-equip mo siya, ayun, dun lumalabas yung skill na yun. And then while you use it, it levels up. So yung parang yung loadout mo ng skills mo would depend on yung drops ng gems na nakukuha mo. Ito yung minimap. So as you can see, yung talagang ano, yung design is very reminiscent of Diablo 2 and Diablo 1. So yan. And hindi lang kasi skills, parang skills yung napipulot mo from gems. You also get parang buff gems for the skills that you have. And para buff mo yung isang skill mo, you just have to parang equip yung gem na yon in a slot, and then that slot has to have parang disconnection, itong parang link between the main skill and the buff skills. So etong ano na to, etong buff na to will only work for a spell that's nandito, na connected sa kanya. If hindi siya connected, or kumare nasa ibang parang ibang equipment siya, hindi mag-e-effect tong ano na to, tong buff crystal na to. So either pagsasamahin mo sila sa isang weapon na mas maraming slots, or hahanap ka ng isa pang drop nung support ano na yon, support gem na yon. So, ayan, nag-level up tayo. So, dito na makikita yung difference. So, ito yung mga ano. So, kunin muna natin itong mga... So, mapapansin nyo, different colors. Red, green, and ano. Parang, siguro, again, blue is more of arcane or magic. Red is physical. Green is dexterity based na skills. So as you can see, may times na makakapulot ka ng mga items na walang link, and as much as possible hindi ako gumagamit nito ng mga link na to. And then ako gumagamit ng item na walang link kasi you can't buff or hindi mo kayang bigyan ng support yung skill kasi wala nga siyang link. And this one has link, so halos pareho lang nito. This one may link, ito merong link, tapos may isang wala. Siguro napapansin niyo dito sa menu na to, walang gold. This is parang a special thing for Path of Exile na yung currency nila is hindi talaga gold. Mamaya actually pwede mong gamitin currency itong Scroll of Wisdom, tapos mamaya ibebenta ko yung mga ibang items para makita kung ano yung parang lumalabas na currency nung game na to. And then so this, we have one passive skill point, and dito na makita yung the complications of Path of Exile. Ito yung basically yung parang character page mo lang para makita mo yung stats mo. This is the passive skill tree. So dito pumapasok yung complexity. Kasi parang you really have to plan ahead. Parang you have to know where you're going pagka ano. Kasi parang dito. Saan ba ako nag-start? Ito, yung start niya. So you already have two divergent paths. Pagka nagano, ang skill point ko lang is 1. So if pumasok ako dito, and then yun pala yung para mga target skills ko and passives, buffs is nandito sa side na to, nagsayang na ako ng isang skill point kasi nilagyan ko dito. And hindi naman pala dyan yung path na papupuntahan ko. So I think for this one, if you're gonna start the game, you have to konting research na rin to see kung ano yung magandang build, ano yung or siguro bago ka mag-start, tignan mo na lahat yung mga nodes na titingnan mo. So dito, ito, kung dito ka papunta, pwede kang umabot sa magkaroon ng galvanic hammer. So you're focusing. Yan, so again, balik tayo dito. So parang titingnan mo na kung siguro yung mga big nodes, ito dito mo makikita yung mga parang malaking effect. The small ones are more for parang increased damage, increased stats. Yan. Tapos etong mga to more on siguro buffs or passive abilities. Yan. So yan, makikita mo naman dito, this is more focused on a staff. Etong node na to, etong node naman na to is parang a dual wielding na mage or witch. Dito naman is for scepters and maces. So parang when you're starting, you have to see kung ayan, medyo philosophical. You have to know where you're going before you start. So yun. This is where the complication starts, and dito kailangan medyo maingat ka na talaga kasi from yung playthrough ko na natapos ko siya, parang I only had the opportunity to reset mga 3 or 4 times lang. And yung reset na yun is moving backwards per one node. Parang ganon. Parang per one node, per two nodes. Kung hindi tawag dito. Kung hindi mo siya pwedeng i-reset as a whole. So talagang kailangan maingat ka and tama yung ginagawa mo pagka naglalaro ka. So it's more of a, siguro it's more complex. It's not really beginner friendly. May mga times na nag-research talaga ako just to see kung ano yung mga builds na maganda, and then doon ko na in-incorporate yung mga gustong gawin. So okay, ito yung parang city hub. Dito din yung mga NPC. And itong mga to, mga players to, it might look like in MMO RPG, pero actually dito lang sila, dito mo lang sila pwedeng ma-encounter and maka-interact with for trading. Dito pumapasok yung trading kasi most of the social aspect of the game is for trading. Selling items is yan. So makikita mo ganito yung how you sell. So this is a scroll fragment. And yung scroll fragment na yan, parang 5 of that is equal to 1 scroll of wisdom. So technically, items din na makukuha mo for selling. And yung items na yun, pwede mong gamitin yun to actually trade. And meron silang economy yung loob ng game with all the other players kung ano yung equivalent nitong isang item na to is equivalent to 5 of these types of items. So medyo complicated siya. Actually yun nga pala, hindi ko na test yun kasi may option na solo self-found na parang game mode, and that solo self-found is parang hindi ka pwede mag-trade and hindi ka pwede mag-party, and all of the things na gagamitin mo throughout the game will be from your yung mga nahanap mo lang. Hindi ka pwede hindi siya tradable kasi most of the parang yung mga naglalaro talaga dito na parang seriously, they do it via trading para makuha nila agad yung mga items na kailangan nila ba. Okay, this is the stash. So ito yung isang pwede mong bilhin from the game. Kasi meron kang parang 4 pages of the stash and parang madami siya pero mapupuno mo yan. Kasi mapupuno mo yan. Puno ko siya dun sa first playthrough ko and solo self-found lang ako. Tapos to add a new tab, yun ang mga pwede mong bilhin. That's parang yan lang yung parang microtransaction na meron. So pwede kang mag-add ng additional tabs, tapos cosmetic. Ito cosmetic lang to. It doesn't have any stats added. It doesn't unlock anything. It just makes you look good. Ang maganda lang sa kanya is it's free to play, and most free to play games lumalabas kasi nagiging play to win siya. Meaning the more you spend, the easier the game gets. Etong game na to is, though I have no parang experience of buying anything for this game, pero looking at kung ano yung mga binebenta nila, the only gameplay advantage na nakikita ko when you buy something is when you buy a stash page. Yun lang. Kasi dumadagdag yung lalagyan mo ng inventory, and with how the currency is na based siya dun sa mga items na napupulot mo, the more space for inventory you have is equivalent to how rich you are in the game. Yan parang if you're buying anything, you're buying it for 2 scrolls of wisdom, 1 scroll of wisdom, orb of transmutation, mga ganun. So items talaga yung pambibili mo. So dito talaga you have to pick up everything. Yun lang. Kaya rin importante yung stash. I think that's the only thing that's technically pay to win dito sa game na to, if you can buy as much stash as possible. Pero aside from that, yun na. Ayan, so actually hindi naman ganun kahirap yung mga gems kasi looking at yung last na nilaro ko, yung mga gems na kailangan ko is nakuha ko pa rin siya while playing the game. Parang hindi ko naman siya kailangan talagang i-farm. May mga siguro a couple of gems lang na talagang hinanap ko or binili ko from NPCs, hindi from other players. Pero madalas binibigay as a reward yung mga gems na kailangan. So yun, I think that's it for the basics of Path of Exile. Again, this is a free game. For Path of Exile, the minimum requirements will be for the CPU, it's an x86 compatible with 2.6 GHz or better. For the GPU, it's a GTX 650 Ti or Radeon HD 7850 or better. For the RAM, it's 4 gigs of RAM and then 30 gigabytes of available space. Tapos for the recommended settings, x64 compatible quad core. So quad core CPU, 3.2 GHz or better. And then 1050 Ti or RX 560. 8 gigs of RAM and 40 gigs of available space. So technically hindi naman ganun hindi ganun kabigat yung mga recommended, or hindi ganun kabigat yung requirements niya to run the game. You do need siguro a network connection. It's that type of game. Pero hindi siya, again, hindi siya MMO. Siguro MMO part lang is mga hubs, mga city hubs kung saan ko pwede mag-trade, mag-invite to a party if you're playing a parang non-solo self-found mode of game. So yun. I think that's it. So if you like the video, click like. If you dislike the video, dislike. If you have any comments, questions, and suggestions, just put a comment below. If you want to check out my previous videos, subscribe to the channel and just check out my video library. If you want to be notified of the next video being posted, just click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button. And I think that's it. Hope you can chill with me again next week when the stay-at-home dad takes another break. Bye!